Hello once again, and welcome to the Hungry Bleek podcast. This is actually the season finale. Seems weird because it's only 13 episodes, but I like short seasons. That's why I enjoy shows on Netflix. Short seasons and also BBC TV. Short seasons, I don't need 20-something episodes, what have you. So, today's episode, because it's a season finale, I was like, you know what? Let me get this guy, this All right, so everyone's had a great introduction so far from what people are telling me. Appreciate that. So let me give him an introduction. Forgot what group it was on Facebook. Found out about a comic called It's Nana. First off, the cover scared the shit out of me because I don't like spiders. I didn't like spiders. Let me rephrase that. So I ended up meeting the creator at New York Comic Con. No. It wasn't New York Comic Con. It was a Black comic book festival at the Schomburg. Walked up, first off, didn't know that he was like 7 feet tall. So, okay, cool. But I'm like 4'9", so what have you. I'm not actually 4'9". It's like, oh man, saw your comic, loved it. I don't like spiders. I want to get it, but I don't like spiders. Opened up the book, showed me about it. I was like, okay, cool, bet. Brought the comic, and then I bought a t-shirt. I love t-shirts. And it's just a really cool, genuine, nice guy. A lot of creators you meet, they're nice, they're cool, what have you online. You meet them in person. Sometimes they're a little not nice, not cool, not what you thought. So became friends, one of the coolest guys out there, just genuine person. See him at cons, it's always good to see him. It's like, again, it's like home. It's like walking into the living room and your cousin or your brother's there. He's just a really cool cat. So a couple years ago, I got sick. I was in the hospital, and I was on Facebook on my phone because I have my phone in the hospital. Not this phone, but a different phone. And I get a message and I look and it's him. And he's like, I heard you sick. I'm so sorry. I'm like, oh no, it's not your fault. Thank you very much. Whatever. He's like, so where's your hospital? I'm like, oh, well, it's in Red Bank, so it's town in Jersey, what have you. Okay, so if I was trying to get there from New York, how would I get there? I was like, well, you take a train, like the train station actually lets you off right here in Red Bank. It's maybe a few blocks. He's like, okay, so what direction would I walk in? I'm sitting there, mind you, one of the ailments that I had threw my coordination all off. So I didn't know directions, what have you. But I'm like, oh, it's this way, this way. This guy who had never been there, who didn't know anything about that town, was trying to figure out how to get to the hospital to visit me. And it blew my mind because there are a lot of people who were in my DMs that were great and I appreciate them so much. But this guy was going to just come to the hospital to see me, be hooked up to hoses, breathing, unshaved. I had on like hospital issue drawers on and a gown and ashy as all hell, dry lips, like hey, he was coming there to see. And I was like, wow, I appreciate that so much, but no, don't bother. And I appreciated that. And that just already endeared him even more to my heart because he's such a genuine and outspoken gentleman on numerous topics, whether it is race, whether it is misogyny, whether it is the LGBTQ community here in America, the world, I should say. He is just that kind of cat and an amazing creator, writer, and analytical mind for things. So without any further ado, and I'm probably going to butcher his name because I've heard that no one can say his last name properly. So I'm just already going to get ready for the thrashing, what have you. So everyone, this is Greg Anderson Elysee.
You messed it up, bro.
I was ready for it. I was ready. I was even going to ask you, and I was like, I'm not even going to ask him because I know it when he tells me, I'm still going to say it wrong. And I know it's not Elysee because I know you get on people for that all the time.
It's Elysee.
Elysee, God damn it. It's almost like when you're trying to like solve a puzzle and there's one piece missing and you're like, why can't I get the Rubik's Cube to go that way? Okay, bet.
You almost made me cry with that intro, bro.
Dude, it's real, man. Like I was laying in the hospital. Look, I had something called, I had 3 things that were wrong with me. I had the Legionnaire's disease. I had rhabdomyolysis, and the rhabdomyolysis caused my kidney to shut down. The thing with the rhabdomyolysis is that it causes confusion, but that's a lie. That wasn't confusion. I straight up didn't know what time it was, day or night. I lost like a couple weeks of time. I was out of it. So you're asking me where I'm at, and I'm trying to give you directions. Meanwhile, I'm going through it, bro. I don't know what's going on, but it genuinely, like, between you, who else hit me up? There were so many people. Like my usual friends and loved ones. Um, Regine hit me up. Micheline offered me groceries. Like, stop. Just, that smile. She offered
No,
me
no, no,
like
no, no. Because I remember
produce
that.
from the grocery store. Let me
I remember,
because I forgot who I'm here with.
I remember that. I wasn't. My mind didn't even go nowhere, bro.
Your mind didn't, but your face gave it away. Your face was like 2 seconds.
I didn't even
Your
go.
face was thinking something that your mind wasn't. Because
That's all you. You see, no, that was on you this time. That was on you this time.
so that's how this episode is going to go, folks. Pretty much. You know what I mean? But when you were like asking me, and I'm like giving you directions, and I'm like, is he really thinking about coming here? Like, and it honestly did hit me because I was like, oh, these are people really showing me love at this time when I'm kind of out of it and I don't know. And I remember who really showed me love and who showed me love like on surface just because, you know what I mean? And I appreciated that so much. You have no idea. Like you even offered me like, oh well, here's this book that you can read and everything. I couldn't read in the hospital though. I honestly couldn't because of the rubber mouse. I couldn't. I had like 3 books there. I couldn't read. I couldn't, and I wanted to read. I wanted to read so badly. I was looking at the comics come out when I was in the hospital. I was like, oh, I can't even. Oh my God, I can't read. I can't read. So no, but honestly, I don't know if I ever told you how much I appreciated that, but I really did. Seriously, that hit me in a way I really appreciated that. Honestly, it was like that was real love because I was like, he has no idea where he's going. Like he's gonna come here and he's gonna end up in like somewhere else. And he's gonna be like, well, I guess I'll get something to eat. I mean, I know where the train station is now. I guess. I mean, second time's a charm. I'll try next week or something. It was that, but I really do appreciate it.
No doubt, man. You deserve
And
it. You're
I,
great. You're wonderful.
I mean, I'm still in LA. It's almost 2 years later. Like, excuse me, 3 years later. Damn, and I'm still in awe of how people like showed love. And I was like, damn, wow, thank you. So I definitely have a mental Rolodex of who was really there and who was on the edge and shifty. Because I'm like, all right, cool. Start matching that energy. All right, great. All right, cool. So I mean, speaking of the fact that I haven't seen you in a minute, the news of New York Comic Con saying that they want to return. I believe it's August, October 7th to the 10th or the 11th. Now, now, as someone who loves cons, obviously not just business wise, but also personal wise, just seeing people. How do you feel about this?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know
Mm,
how to feel about it. All I know is I've been like itching myself for cons. I'm like, yo,
bruh,
I miss this so much. Honestly, if I can, I'm a bite my tongue and I'm just gonna do it.
yeah,
Honestly, just honestly, financially, this past year and a half, I guess you can say, year has been tough. You know,
hmm,
because that was a huge part of my income was cons,
yeah,
and being able to travel was also also a form of like self care for me because that would be like my time away from city life, from New York City, from whatever that I had to do, and I could
hmm,
just go to this different state and just hang out and just chill, and make some bread. And with that being gone, it was just like, yo, what the hell? Even though I in the beginning of the quarantine, I actually enjoyed not doing anything. Like that was a
yeah,
godsend to me in a weird way.
hmm,
But then it was the fact of okay, there's this con I was supposed to go to. I think there was like 2, 3 cons I was supposed to go to like within those first 3 weeks of quarantine, and I was just like, I can't go to any of them. And it was just, it just sucked. It sucked, especially like the ones where I was really making bank. I was like,
yeah,
yo, I can't even go here. But like I get both the concern as to why people are saying nah, they ain't gonna do it because it's serious out there. But
mm,
then at the same time, I get the ones who was just like, please let it happen, please let it happen. And so it's like I'm a bit of both minds, but I'm definitely leaning towards like I might just take the risk and do the damn show if I can.
yeah. I miss New York. I miss New York in general. First off, I haven't been there since last October. I want to say maybe. So I miss New York. Now, friends and family, but I actually miss the subway. I know that's weird as hell to say, but I miss the subway. I miss, when I was there and I was on the subway, like I always read on the subway, either on my phone, like I'll pull out a comic or whatever, or I'll pull something out of my bag. Usually my phone because it's easier because I can just put it in my pocket and just get off. I don't want to, be out there with too much. So not being up there on a regular is weird, and not coming out of Penn Station, turning that corner and walking out and seeing everyone in cosplay, seeing all the, like, there's a real beauty to it. There really is. And being able to, go in the door and see everybody and see what's out, what's new. Sometimes I don't even care. I'm just there to see people and just to see everybody. So I'm of two minds too. I'm actually trying to get the vaccine now. I'm trying to find a place that has it. Everybody's booked up, obviously, because the floodgates have kind of opened with them being allowing everyone to be able to get it. But I am worried about how are you going to limit people. I think they were talking about the vaccine passport, like that having to be a part of how you're able to get in to know that you're been vaccinated, what have you. I don't know how it's going to work out because you add on top. I mean, it's hard enough getting out of there without getting con crud. So exactly my point, dude. Exactly my point. But it's almost weird because you almost miss con crud because it means that you were at a con. That's a weird kind of vibe, but what have you. But it's weird because it's I mean, hygiene has gotten better at cons. It's from being out there in the masses, like people don't like it doesn't smell like a deli as much anymore. I'm gonna be real. I don't know I don't know if everybody started, realizing it, or if somebody's people's partners are starting to clean them up. I don't know what's going on, but it's not as bad as it was because it used to be rank in there, horrible. But I do miss it, but I want the safety of everyone. And I remember when it happened, and you creators were hurting at first, but y'all got mad creative with y'all gonna get these books. It's probably the only Don't Rush challenge that I was okay with. I hate that song now, by the way, but it's probably the only Don't Rush challenge I was not mad at.
Mm-hmm.
It's the only one. Every other one, I was like, I'm at about 50. I was like, oh, I'm tired of all of you. I'm so glad I can't see nobody. I'm so glad we're all inside. But you guys started finding more and more ways to hustle and be out there. Digitals, like I know y'all was shipping books out on the regular, like and everyone was connecting, and Kickstarter started ramping up even more, which was good to see. Everybody was really getting that money from the community, showing love and like, look, I want your book, I want this. And it was a weird time and a great time because everybody's inside. They want something to entertain themselves. They've watched every damn thing on Netflix and Hulu. They had to like cut some of their unessential accounts, so Pornhub was out, so they needed something to entertain themselves. So look, whatever, man. So
I know you was hurting, bro.
Sure was hurting. Had to get a lotion. So what I'm saying is that I ain't shit. But it was great to see everybody, hustling, and everybody was starting to network and connect more too. It caused this jump-started evolution for everybody, I think, because I was watching y'all and I was like, this is y'all are just pushing. Like it seemed like Kickstarters were getting more and more money than they were before. Everyone's getting funded quicker. Well, you get funded quick anyway, so you ain't even realize it. But like you like don't roll your eyes. Don't roll your eyes. But it was a beautiful thing. But I do miss that con and walking in and seeing everyone in panels and meeting up with my friends and talking about this and going to viewings. So I want it, but I want it as safe as possible for everyone there. And I don't know how they can do that. How can you limit Jacob Javits? How can you?
And on top of that, that's where all them crazy crap was happening.
Oh my God, yes. Oh my, I didn't even think about that.
Bruh. So the cleaning they're gonna have to do, the deep cleaning for every single nook and cranny and corner. Like, bro.
I had forgotten about that. Oh my.
Yeah.
And it's carpeting too. So you can't, that's some real. You know
Yeah.
what? Maybe
So
we should just have it virtual this year too, and just wait till 2022. Man, I didn't even think about that. Oh, shit.
yeah, it's a tough one to think about, man. And I
Bad.
think I wonder if it was mainly as well the bigger venues in all the other states too. I wonder if they were also parts that were helping with the quarantine. So who knows if
Mm,
that's also going to affect the other states.
yeah, because I know San Diego Comic Con wanted to do something during Thanksgiving weekend,
Hmm.
which I don't under that timing is ridiculous. I'm trying to think of what other big con was supposed to be out there, but I think it's like Reed Pop because Comic Con, well, New York Comic Con anyway, doesn't even have their own website anymore. They're merged with Metaverse,
Okay.
so they have like a joint site now. So I think without them having that revenue of New York Comic Con, I don't know what their financial situation is. So that might be why they merged with Metaverse. I don't know. I enjoyed the virtual cons because I didn't miss a panel. I was never late. I didn't have to wait in lines. I could just straight up have like a plate of pancakes and be watching a panel right then and there. Like I loved the Skybound um, expo that they had a few weeks ago. You were part of it because you were part of the excellent. I think that was the one that I really wanted to watch because that's how I found out about they had new T-shirts. And I was mad as hell. And I was like, how am I going to afford these T-shirts, man? The T-shirts and 2 hoodies. I was like, oh, so sick of this shit. But it's a great comic, so I can't even be mad at that. And I do love those shirts and the color purple. But I hadn't even thought about the venues. I hadn't thought about if they were part of that whole. Damn.
Yeah,
Oh my god. Oh, that's one more thing I got to think about.
it's real. I'm sorry for bringing it up. My fault.
No, that's the thing, man.
I think wine. So like, I didn't say that.
No, I'm glad you said something that you have to have these different points of view to be like, hey, that's where everybody was at. Like, what you mean? What you talking about? But you have to have that point of view, and to think about something different, and think about other things different. And speaking of all the Kickstarters that were out, I forget sometimes all the books I have and all the books I have to read. And I read a book from you, Stronghold. I wanted to tell you how much I love that book.
Mm.
And this is Stronghold. This is through 133 Art. This is part of the One Nation universe, One Nation verse. I don't know what term they want to use, but it's part of the One Nation line. 2 things about this book that I absolutely loved. Number one, and this is like of the gay characters or LGBTQ plus characters, I should say, that I've read in comics. I haven't read one, just me personally, I haven't read one where in the beginning of the book, well, in the first couple pages, I should say, the main character is homophobic. That showed a real struggle because you know how it's going to turn out, but to see him start out like that, you're like, wait, wait, what's going on? I loved that. I loved seeing him at the tables and him going, no, 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 no. And then him going to that, I love seeing that because you don't see that. A lot of times when you see the characters in comics are already out, they've already been out. A lot of them, or they might tell a story later on about that struggle that they had. Where this one, you're seeing it right up at the front. I loved seeing that. I also loved seeing a black character with I want to hope I'm saying this right. Albinism?
Albinism.
Albinism, thank you. I loved seeing that. And I loved how the one character was like, well, I can tell by your features, your lips, your everything like that. I don't know why, but I could hear them saying lips, and it sounded beautiful to me.
Mm.
And it was them recognizing them twice. Recognizing, I know that you're going through the struggle and you belong at this table. Or at least just see what we have going on. And also, I see you.
Yeah.
Tell me how you came up with that. I don't know how this became an interview. It's supposed to be a conversation, but tell me about it because I really dug it. Because I was laying there because I forgot I had it. And I was like, wait, shit. I have this damn digital copy of Stronghold. Let me read it. And I got my tablet. I'm reading it. I'm still laying there. I'm like still groggy. I'm sleeping, and I'm like, wait, what? And I was like, okay, bet. How did you come up with the character?
Well, the character was actually created by Jason Reeves, who created One Nation, that whole thing. And I actually wrote this script years ago. I wrote this a little bit after Isnana came out. Jason had already read Isnana. I guess he saw all my posts, how much of I'm a activist for certain things, representation, black, queer, all that other stuff. So he reached out, was like, "Hey, I have this character, Stronghold. Would you like to, take a look, see what you can do? I'd like to see what you have in mind." At the time, the character was actually white.
Oh,
And he was like the strong queer character that he was like, "Yo, I would like someone who has a little bit experience with this type of stuff to cater to it versus him who him being straight hetero." And
hmm
I was like, sure, no doubt, no doubt. And a part of me, I was also excited because I was like, he's not a black character in a sense, because I was like, I'm always writing black characters even though I don't mind it. I love it. But at
hmm
the time I was like, this is something a little different. And when I wrote the script, it was cool. I think I wrote like the first 2 issues or 2.5 issues, and we started looking for artists. And then one of the first artists we were looking at was Jamal Williams, and his art, like he did, I think he was playing around with sketches, and then one of them, he looked black,
hmm
and we was just like, "Yo, he looks dope," like this. And I don't think it was intentional. And from there,
hmm
Jason was just like, "We're making him black," and I was just like, "Bro, you're like you're." What was I say? What's that word called? Typecast. I was like, "Yo, you typecasting me."
Okay.
You know? And he was like,
All
"Nah, I
right.
don't care, bro. Like he looked good black. We gonna make him black." And I was just like, "All right, cool." But then after, I'm like, "Yo, we don't have any black queer albinists, like someone with albinism." So I was like, "Yo, this is cool." And then that opened up so many different layers because it was like, "Yo, he was homophobic." Um, then I'm like, "How do you deal with the fact that your family, your family is white and they're homophobic and they're like sort of racist as well?"
hmm
And so playing, and then we started thinking of like different dynamics, and I started thinking like, "Yo, that's a whole bunch of struggles right there that a lot of people go through, but we don't quite know their story." And thinking about the fact of like, okay, how the like him being black, but he can pass as white. His skin is literally white.
hmm
So we started thinking of how about he has to straighten his hair out in order, because it's like if he's black or half black, there was an infidelity thing going on, and the fact that his family are like Christians. So like what would they do to sort of hide that? You know? And so that would add a lot of self-hate. Not only does he hate the fact that he's gay and he's hiding the hell out of it, but it's like he's ignoring his blackness as well because he grew up with this white family, him and his sister,
hmm
you know. And so I put a couple like hints in there about their backstory. I don't want to spell it out. I want people to like sort of figure it out like little bits and pieces. But it was one of those things where it was just like, yo, there's a lot of different ways we can go about this. And it goes down to like marginalization. People are so marginalized, we're not used to seeing this type of representation. When you do see a black person with albinism, they're usually evil in the media. And so
Yes. Yeah.
this was something that I really wanted to tackle and do it with care and showcase. Just like how you said, you see the aspect of him that he was homophobic. So many queer folks in real life dealt with that feeling of hate of themselves and other people who would like them,
hmm
and we barely see that being represented. And one thing that I thought was interesting on my end too was like not too long, like maybe about a year or two ago, a little over a year ago. It was definitely before quarantine. I met a black queer man with albinism who looked just like freaking Stronghold, and I was like, bro. And I didn't want to like
Oh, no.
I didn't want to bring up like, yo, I'm writing a comic with someone because I was like, this is gonna seem weird. So I'm not gonna,
It's gonna feel real awkward. Yep.
yeah, but I was just like, yo, like, yes, these folks exist.
That's what because I hadn't like you were saying, layers and the amount of struggles that they were going through. Um, you always see people, trying to be funny, pick a struggle.
I know.
You know what I mean? But this character is like really going through it. And I mean, aside, the struggle of the sexuality, the struggle of race, and then also having powers, because that can be his own struggle as well. Because I'll be honest with you, if I had powers, I don't know what I mean, I know what I would do, but I don't know what I would do. You know what I'm saying? Because I can think of a few people that are going to get a call right off the bat. Especially nowadays, I'm just saying. But then, yeah, go that route. Like, what would I do? Would I band up with superheroes? Would I go with the other ones? Just go, I don't care. They didn't care about me regardless. Or would I just stay in my own lane and just do what I want to do, when I want to do it, how I want to do it? So I really enjoy. I think, and I'm not trying to be funny, I think this might be my favorite of your work.
Wow, really?
Because, and I love The Gentleman. That would on point book. I mean, Isnana is your baby. That's your first baby right there. I mean, I don't care what nobody says. That's your first baby right there. And also, I mean, Marasa still going off about that German suplex was ridiculous, bro. I mean, I'm still going though. I don't care because you don't see it very often. You know what I mean?
I was so meticulous with that scene.
Bro.
Like when I wrote it and when Antonella was drawing it. And there were times where I'm just like, we're not there yet. So then I would literally go online. I would go to YouTube, find videos, and then I would like pause them at certain parts and be like, I need you to draw this part, that running arm around, that whole, like I was freeze
that whole you ducking the clothesline and came them like that. Bro, when I saw it, I was like, I know he did not. And I hope I didn't spoil it for anybody or whatever. When I mentioned online, I was like, yo, that was dope. I don't care what that. And I don't know if this was intentional or if it was just part of the costume, but I'm trying to remember who it was. They had like kick pads, like the shin guards.
Yeah, it was Luna versus Kulev.
Yes. And I was like, are those kick pads like the shin guards like they have in wrestling also? Like, is he trying to underline, like, is this some layered undercover like wrestling he's put in here and nobody's saying anything about it? Because I'm digging this. But as a wrestling fan, like, I obviously caught it, or I was just like projecting onto it. Didn't care because I got a German suplex in space. I don't care. How often can you say that? How often can you straight up say that? I got a German suplex in space. You can't.
Yeah.
You're not gonna see this in Guardians of the Galaxy or anything. You're not. Bet you're not gonna see Superman out there with Mongol German suplexing. You're not. I'm betting you not. You're not. Yeah. So I think because of those layers, I think this may be my favorite work of yours.
That means a lot, honestly. So I never get offended when people like, oh, I like this work more than this. Not. I'm just like, okay, cool. Like,
I was kind of like, oh, I know it's not. Again, that's his baby. I'm not trying to offend your baby.
It's not my baby. But here's the thing. I feel for me also as a writer and creator, you want your next thing to be better than your last.
Okay.
Like, just to show your improvement, your growth. And I like hearing that too. Also, in the fact that, as I said, I wrote the original draft years ago. So to hear that it still sort of stands in a way, sort of like, okay, cool. Even though you could even ask Jason. I have updated these scripts so many times where he is sick of me, because I'm just like, yo, I want to add this and I want to add that in. Or sometimes because I wrote like issue 3, I'm like, yo, I got to go back to issue 1 because I said something,
You got it, to get that continuity right, to get the whole continuity.
Like, I'm such like I wouldn't call myself a perfectionist, but there are certain aspects that I will go back to the beginning just to make something seem smoother at the end. So it's like, if it hasn't been published yet, like I'm going back, I'm fixing something, and as I said, we have like 3 issues already written out. We have like 1 more I think we're waiting till like we get to three that we'll start. I'll probably start writing the fourth one.
Yeah.
But no, it does make me feel really good to hear that. And I love hearing like the fact that everyone has a different. My favorite Greg book is this
Hmm.
because it doesn't seem like I'm a one trick pony. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So it's not all, oh, I only love Isnana. That's my favorite. And everyone is saying that. And I'm gonna just be like, but I have other books that I've written, and I'm not hearing any
Hmm.
fanfare. But it also makes me good to hear this too, because honestly, I haven't heard much feedback about Stronghold. Like I feel like so far that's one of the books that not too many people are talking about. And I don't know if I don't think of it as, oh, maybe they're not enjoying it, because the ones who have reached out to me about it told me how much
Hmm.
they dug it. But I don't know if it's just I don't know, maybe it's just not spreading as much, as the other ones. Or I although I have a feeling some people may have been burnt from being fans of Gentleman and Marasa for supporting.
I can understand that
I feel like
personally.
a part of me feels that way because of all the behind the scenes drama, and
Yeah.
because Isnana has no issues being shipped to people. They trust Isnana will get to them as opposed to anything else that's not Isnana. You know what I mean?
No, I totally understand. But when I saw who you're working with, I mean, 133 Art and Jason, I was like, I don't, first off, I trust you as a creator. I trust you that you're going to do what's best for not just yourself, but also your fans and the people who are getting your book. So you're not going to go in intentionally and go, well, I'm gonna go with this cat, and I mean, whatever happens, happens. I don't think that you would do that. You know what I mean? And I trust Jason. He's been in the game. I mean, he's like, he's been there. So, and he has a track record that proves it. And I saw what you went through. I saw what a couple other people went through. I'm not gonna. It's back there, so I'm not gonna. But I saw what you went through, and I felt it. And I was like, damn, this sucks, what have you. But when you said you had another book coming out, and it was through them, I said, bet, cool, okay. Hit the link, and I went through. It wasn't a second thought for me. I knew. And it's also something. This is what I've learned in getting older and stuff like that. I've learned, and this is something that I've actually started loving to do now. I go for books that have leads that I identify differently than, because I want a different perspective. I want a different voice. I want someone else to win. I want someone else to beat the bad guy. I want someone else to stand on top of the mountain with their hand raised and be victorious. So I purposely will look for uh, comics with female leads. I recently read Avery, Avery the Astonishing. Yeah, yeah, from Wingless. Loved it. I love a extra strong, like super strong female character that's a brawler, a fighter. I love that. Um, Stronghold is a gay character, and I'm looking more for gay characters as leads in books, and, like queer characters in general. Like I started reading Safe Sex. I
I think
haven't finished it, but it's from Image. It's basically, how when like in the dystopian future there's always like the revolution and such like that, but there's always like that one place where like a safe haven, where like a speakeasy, brothel, what have you, but then it ends up getting shot up and destroyed like halfway through the movie. You know what I mean? Think of this, like the people, like everyone in there who's a sex worker, stuff like that. They're actually the freedom fighters. They're the revolution. And it's how I think it might be two arcs. I'm not sure if they're on hiatus now or if the book kind of stopped or if that was it. I'm not sure. Where it's a book about sex workers being heroes, being the ones that save society and humanity, and it's set in a near future San Francisco.
I did not know that. That's pretty dope.
Yes, and it's from Image. Came out maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago, I want to say maybe.
Okay.
So I'm like, well, you know what? I don't identify, but I like porn. So let me, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not mad. I've been totally honest, whether on here or on Fandom Initiative or when I used to Stranger Membrane, I am pro sex worker. You do what you got to do. And if you say you're not pro sex worker, let me see your history. Let me see your browser history.
Bro, that's what I'm.
Bet money. Bet money.
Oh
Bet
my
money.
gosh, bro. You don't know that is
Let
such
me see your financials. Bet money.
that is such a thing that pisses me off is the people who try to be who claim to be Puritans or I'm against this or I can't believe y'all would pay for this and that blah blah. But it's like, yo, but you're literally nutting off to these people. It's
Bro.
like the fact of
And it'll
that
be the shit on the opposite end of the spectrum. It'll be some wild shit. Be like, I'm not into this. But then you look at their browser history and you're like, Granny's doing, wait, what? Bruh. Granny Estelle doing what on the what? You look at their
not
browser
Granny
like, what?
Estelle. Oh, she ain't retired yet? Granny Estelle.
Nah, nah, bro. She just got her second wind. She is on point. She is on point.
Oh man.
And it'll be them. They'll be the first ones. And but it's like you were saying, like people will rally against things so hard, but deep down inside, that's what they want. That's what they're looking for. That's what they're. It's a lot of repression. There's a lot of repression out there, and I mean, it's getting better now because we have the internet and people are connecting more and they're finding out information and they're reading and they're getting educated. And because of people like you who are saying, look, this is, and we're normalizing things. That's the biggest thing is normalizing this stuff, you know, and taking away that stigma of, of kink shaming. Look, do what you got to do. As long as it's consensual, y'all good. You got safe word. You got whatever's going on. As long as it's consensual, I'm so good. Just be careful. Be careful. As long as, but I'm not gonna be mad at you. Whatever you doing, I might not dig it, but you know what? Like what you dig don't make me come. So why is it my business?
See, that's the thing. And that's. I mean, we're literally right there. We're
No.
seeing eye to eye on that. And I always have this thing where I always say to people, is the fact that you're judging someone, you're getting pissed off at someone simply because something gives them pleasure. I was like, you're getting mad about something that's pleasurable for somebody else, and it's just like it has nothing to do with you, because it doesn't dictate your life. Like you can literally just if it grosses you out in some way, you can literally just turn around and mind your business and find the thing that makes that gets you off. That's
Yes,
it. The whole, oh, they're into this, they're into that, blah, 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 and trying to make it all taboo. It's not for you.
that's it. It's really not.
It's
It's
that
why
person's.
are you? You're more fascinated about it than they are, and they're doing it. So what is that? Like I don't understand it. Like if someone talks about like pegging, like I found like I started like seeing more normalizing. I want to say, but still a ways to go with pegging. When I watched Broad City,
Mm,
and they had an episode about how one of the lead characters was dating her neighbor finally after like 2 seasons or something like that, and he was in the pegging. He even had a special a strap on that he had, like he bought it for himself, which I had never thought about. I was like, yeah, because women buy certain sex toys that they like that helps them out. So why wouldn't a man also do that? And he had named it too or something like that. So when you name something, you know that's you because
special.
you know what I'm saying? Like that's it. And I was like, yo, this is awesome. This is like really interesting or whatever. And I watched it, I'm like, and then I'm like, you know what? I know there are people that just are like, oh my God, oh my God. And it makes him gay. I'm like, no, it doesn't make him gay because it's a woman. Like if you like doing stuff with a woman, that makes you straight. If you like doing stuff with a man, that makes you gay. If you like doing stuff with a man and a woman, that makes you bi. If you're down with whoever, then it makes you pan. Like why are you mad about it? Like, is it
Yeah,
your ass? Then
so
you good.
they make it so complicated.
Like us straights really have no idea what the fuck we're doing. Like we are all over the place, bro. Seriously. Like I'm like sometimes I'm like, ugh, I don't know what is this how the meeting is gonna go? I'm not coming to these straight meetings no more. I'm not coming to straight meetings no more. I bet I'm not. Y'all are
Handle your,
horrible.
you gotta handle your people, bro.
No, I don't want to handle none of them, bro. I'm over here like, y'all wild, bro. Y'all wild. But then we'll follow the biggest trends and such like that from the queer community and fashion and stuff like that. Music. I still haven't heard that song from Lil Nas X. I still haven't heard. Haven't gotten it, but I'm living for everyone's reaction, for the people mad. The poll, Satan, all that shit. Run it. I love it. I need to watch the video, but I'm here for everything that he's doing.
You
Don't
do,
care.
man, you do. You do.
Yeah, just I don't. Yeah, the king shaming and everything. I don't understand it. I don't. Do what you got to do. Just consensual. Be safe. Lay down your ground rules beforehand so nobody gets emotionally hurt, and then just do your thing. Just live it. But I'm loving seeing everyone being able to come out more, and I'm seeing more sex workers and more queer, and everyone's figuring things out or trying to figure things out. Like you never really have your life figured out until the end. Then you go, oh, that's what that meant. So I honestly love seeing that. And do you feel like quarantine has made people open up more because they could just be themselves? They can look online all day and take in more info and stuff like that. And I mean across the board, as far as like sexuality, as far as like just their whole mind thoughts and just their whole mind. I think sexually people have definitely started to open up more and embracing their bodies more, even to more body positivity, such like that, which I'm loving.
Well, I think it's been a gradual thing even before the quarantine, honestly. And I mean, I'm even just using like say my Facebook as an example. Like, I would post some random crap and then mad people just show up, and sometimes it's people that you least expect, like who will open up about certain things that they're into. And I'm very much about letting my page be a safe space. If someone is being mad disrespectful, I would literally just kick them out. I'm just like, yo, get off my page. This page is for the weirdos, for the open-minded and whatever. But I do feel when quarantine happened, I mean, there was a couple of cats that were starting to dabble a little bit more on like OnlyFans, even right before the quarantine happened. And people was like, oh, you got OnlyFans? Sure, let me check it out. Let me support. And I think, and now with like Twitter is practically a fucking porn site.
Yeah, I didn't know it was like, because I don't go on Twitter. I was like, wait, hold on, what the hell? I was like, where did that happen?
I think everyone has a freak Twitter, man. I'm telling you. But
let me go on my phone real quick. Let me add an account.
Everyone got a freak Twitter, but
I know about freak Twitter.
Yeah, man, it's how you do. I ain't saying I have one.
No, I'm just saying I might have to add one. I'm saying I might have to just create my own.
I have one.
You open though, you just be coming out shirtless like so. It was leg day today, but showing your chest. I'm like, that ain't your legs. That's you's a liar. Oh,
that's y'all. That's y'all. Because when I do leg day, I show leg day, and then I have people like, oh, you trying to show something else? I'm like, no, your eyes went there.
And you purposely cover up stuff, so you know what I mean. You purposely do.
Yo, exactly. And then some people are like, they try to make it seem like I'm trying to thirst trap. I'm like, no, I just show my freaking gains, bro? Why can't I just show my gains without y'all thinking it's a thirst trap? But no, I feel over time just there's less taboo. Things are getting less taboo. Even I feel like porn also helps with making things a bit more acceptable. For example, how many years ago the thought of a dude getting his ass eaten was like, oh hell no, like that shit gay, that shit blah 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 blah. And even though there's still people who say crap like that, it's not to the same amount. Now, how many porn are you watching where the dude is getting his ass eaten?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's becoming more of a norm. And I feel like when porn starts to mess with more things like that, especially seeing it more active in like heterosexual porn, people are starting to break down certain barriers. Even you bringing up the whole pegging thing. pegging thing wouldn't have even been a topic. Like it would have stayed a
Yeah.
hush. The fact that it's becoming more of a topic and people, even if people are still fighting about it, there's literally I would see people on groups who's just like, fuck it, I'm into it. Like it's not that big of a deal. And now it's becoming more like people just don't give a crap anymore. You know, it's like we're adults. It's 2021. We're practically in the apocalypse right now, so people don't give a crap.
Mhm.
Just be yourself. And as much as there's pushback, there's always going to be people who's just like it's not that big of a deal. They're willing to fight against the pushback just to be themselves, just to be who they are. You know?
Yeah, and it's funny because a lot of people who are pushing back about it are probably pushing back on that dildo because they're getting pegged right then and there, and they mad. They
They
type in and pushing back. Yes,
back.
I said that shit. Yes, I did. You pushing back on it right now. Don't be mad. And
That's a
it
whole
just,
skill in itself.
bro, that might be their kink, for real. Getting pegged while while talking about being pegged online, because a kink can go anywhere. You could go anywhere with like you. I'm sure there's some stuff. If I just had a dartboard with words on it and I just threw a dart on like 5 words, I'm sure there would be a kink somewhere. I know it.
Everything has been done, man.
And there's going to be some guy who's paying money for somebody to do it right now.
Yeah.
For real. I, I honestly think that one of the biggest things about, because you see a lot of people like with the OnlyFans, and you see a lot more porn has like regular looking people, like everyday looking people. I think that's like that what is it, that homegrown, quote unquote, I want to say, type porn where people are, it looks like that somebody that would have rung you out at the grocery store today. You know what I mean? The bus driver. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like people. It's not like this, model with hairless and abs and rock hard chiseled and the weird face. No, this is real. There's laundry all on the floor. You know what I'm saying? Dishes are in the sink.
I
You
think
don't live there.
it unveils the humanity of it, you know?
Yes,
I think
that
that
it's not
that was
just
the thing.
you.
A lot of people were going back to the tabooism
Mhm.
of pornography. It was like, okay, you have to look a certain way in order to be a porn star. Oh, it had to be this. This is what porn is. This isn't. We don't want to see this. This is gross. This is that. Um, and now it's just like, yo, everyone has sex, no matter what you look like. Not everyone, obviously. We know
Yeah.
people who don't, but for the most part, almost every type of person, they're into it. They enjoy it. People want to see it. Sometimes people want to see themselves, even though they're not gonna do it, but they want to see someone who looks like you who's doing it. So or the fact of wait, I've these type of people have sex. I've never seen. Oh, that's interesting. Um,
If they're doing it, why aren't I doing it? I
yeah,
want to try that. Like, why am I like why am I not doing that? Like, that looks cool. Like
you know,
learning about new things. Like, I didn't know that was possible. I don't. All right.
and I think, and I also think, um, I do sort of think there's a pro and con to the rise of like porn and how accessible and how accepting it is. Like
Mhm.
I think that it has been making people more open minded and it's been making people a little less judgmental on different types of folks. But at
Mhm.
the same time, I feel like it's gradually desensitizing some people, you know? Um, and
Yeah.
not that I think, I know it is because like there's also a real mental component when you're constantly feeding yourself these images and it's so easy to find. You don't get as aroused in real life as much as you used to, you know especially
I.
if you're constantly pleasuring yourself. If that's it's excessive. uh,
Yeah.
I think when you get the real thing and say the partner that you have may not want to do the stuff that you actually like watching,
Mm.
it's different now. It's like, you
Yeah.
know. So I think there's a pro. I think that there should be a good balance. I'd say. What do you think?
Yeah. That's a really good point because it definitely can desensitize you, and then I think that's why some people like they start kind of ramping up the kink more and more too, to kind
Yeah,
of push it like, well, I never thought about that, so let me try this. Which, and I guess in a way, is more opening up people's minds,
yeah,
not in the way you want, because it's almost like it's almost like a high, like you have to keep going, like higher and higher and higher to get that same feeling, which is weird. Or maybe, or it could be something that was already there, but you just didn't have the motivation to actually open up and say, well, I want to try this, I want to try that, I want to try someone who looks like them. I never thought about someone, maybe both of you, maybe all of you. You know what I mean? It's
Every single one of them.
and this
All of them.
all of them, as Greg will say, all of them. This man sees the world as a buffet, everyone. And this is coming from the hungry Bleek. This is coming from a man who loves to eat. So, bet. I knew the show was going to go this way. Bet I did. Because you know what? Because you're one of the few people that I would trust to speak on topics like this in a mature but fun and educational and balanced way. There aren't a lot of people who I would say, you know what, I want to approach the topic of sexuality and such like that, and it be just, giggling or stupid jokes or jokes that should not be had at all. You know what I mean? Or harassment or, just being creepy. There are not, obviously I'm talking about men mostly, truthfully. And you know what I mean? I bet we've seen it. And that has always been another thing too. I love going to your page. Again, even though if it's something I'm not into, I'll still sit there and I'll read and I'll go, okay, cool, bet. And I love being able to make a comment and then walk off, and I know either you or Eminem, you know who I'm talking about. I'm not gonna say names, but Eminem, you know who I'm talking about. Or either they're gonna come up. And you know what? Even if it's something I'm not gonna do, I love the banter, the openness, the fun, and everyone not being like, whoa, I ain't into that. Unless it was something that was too far, but it's never gone too far because we know each other, we know each other's limits. We know what's a hard no, but we still know it's all fun, it's all cool, and no one is looking to harass or hurt anyone. And that's what I love about your page, the safe space that you say that you have created, which you have. I don't know if you meant to or if it just happened with a post one day, but it has become this hub, this haven for people to say, well, I'm thinking, well, maybe I'm not sure, what have you, or even asking a question like, well, what's that like? What's it about? And Greg will most honestly say both of them or all of them or what you're trying to do. I've seen posts and I'm like, that's going to be on Greg's tombstone. I'm going to be real with you. Both. Here lies Greg. Both of them. You sure this is what you want? I mean, we're both here, so yeah. I mean, both of them. Yeah. And I love it because you've opened my mind as well too on things that I had never thought about, and because of that, and the interaction that I've had with you and with people on your page, both good and bad. Because I've seen some people and I'm like, you're going to get dragged for that. I don't even know why you thought you was going to eat breakfast, come on Battle Beast internet, and then go ahead and type that comment. I don't know why you thought you was going to be cool with that.
On Battle Beast's internet, bro.
Look, this is his internet. He can do what he wants. I don't care. I don't know why you thought that was going to be good.
If you notice, I've got to the point where I barely comment anymore on people's shit when they come on to my stuff. Mm-hmm. And I'll probably say one little thing, but then I'm like, everyone else is gonna go after them.
Because it's like, especially in this day and age, people are looking for something. They're like, oh, it's cool, I love it. Then that one person like, well, I don't, and you're like, why you come on here? Why you come on here? Like the Thundercat symbol goes up, everybody just comes in, and it's over. Like, why'd you even come on the page? You knew what you have Greg as a Facebook friend. You know what's up. Why are you even here? Why? You know his post is going to be about something inclusive. There was a time when you were like trapping people, like you was like, I don't like this. Then they come on, you don't like that, got you, and they would just go in.
I haven't done that in so long. Yo, that crap was funny.
There was one post you put, and I don't think I knew that you were doing it. And I was like, wait, what the hell? And I was like, oh, all right. And I had to delete my comment because I was about to, and I was like, wait, what is that? I was like, oh, all right. I was like, oh, all right. I'll see what I was doing.
I would
Let me get out of your hunting ground. Let me just step
no.
back.
I used to love the ones who thought I was being for real, and they
Mhm.
get pissed at me, and I would have to slide in the DMs like it's a joke. I'm literally trying to find the ones who agree with the crap that I'm posting. That way, I
Mhm.
can nip them in the bud. And I've had some like people just like, "How dare you, you asshole!" I'm just like, "Yo, that's not me. It's not me."
But you know what? That shows you the people who are really down
Uh-huh.
and the people who are just like, I agree. And I mean, like, oh, really? And then you would like converse with them, like, really? Because I think, and they would just keep going. And you're like, you just decided to get that shovel yourself, huh? You just digging that hole pretty deep, bro.
I
That
haven't
hole pretty deep.
I haven't done that in so long. I think I've found a way to eliminate most of
Yeah.
them because like there's way less back and forth in arguments as opposed to because remember this was my second account. My first account
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah.
had a crap ton of like of people from all over, and there was just fights all the time on my page. And when I made the second one, which I didn't mean to, I think I was shadow banned in the first one, and so upon making the second one, I didn't get a lot of those people back, and
Hmm.
a lot of them was intentional. I was like, I don't want this person back, and so now there's been a lot less fights, way more inclusive.
Yeah, it's way more free flowing and more fun. And you find that a lot of the comments that you are getting and responses like that are favorable and people looking to have fun and just relax and have a good time. Where yeah, at that point, I totally forgot that you had it too. The point, yeah, it was great. And some people like it was just like, why would you like what made you even think that my
So
man was just talking about, somebody, tossing a salad. And why are you coming in here saying this now? You don't notice the continuity error? Like what? Like you don't notice that? And I was just like I look at when you do that and I'm like, y'all better than me. I just delete people. Like I started seeing people and I'm like, let me see if we got people in common. And I would see like, at some point I'm like even still some people I'll look and I'll see that we still have people in common. I'm like, and I don't know if it's because the person is buried so deep in their friends list that they don't see them or what, because there are people who popped up on my friends list. I was like, where the hell did you come from? Who
yeah,
the hell are you?
the algorithms be messing, bro.
I don't. I just don't like it. I hate social media in general. I'll be honest with you, but that's just me. I realize that it's a tool to be able to promote things and connect with friends and loved ones, and be able to, especially now with these COVID times, and being able to just have some type of social networking hub to be able to have interaction. But sometimes I'm like, I wish they would. I wish Facebook was a shack that I could just burn down. I'll burn this mother. I don't. I will burn all this shit down. I don't even try to go on Twitter. I just look at the memes people throw up and stuff like that. I go, that's funny. I'm not going on there. I refuse. It's like walking into a bonfire with gasoline draws on, and you just ate a stick of dynamite. Why would I walk into that? Why would I? I don't want that ass whooping. And I don't know how to. I'm not typing them. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. But you do an amazing thing. Whether it's creating these incredible comics, and I will put links in the description for the episode, because your work needs to be out there. Oh, also, you know what? I don't know if I ever told you this because I'm like a stand-up comedy fan. I love the fact that you started out It's Nana Volume 1 with that stand-up comedy. That between that hit me and the wrestling hit me. Those two things were really cool to me.
Did you get the beginning though?
Yeah. Like it was I was like
Because I had a lot of people who like, well, I don't understand it. And do you know who the character was?
the comic?
Yeah.
No.
Ah,
Who was
interesting.
it?
I want you to look at it again.
All right, bet. Because I got the digital. I mean, I could look it right up. I know the actual print is buried somewhere, but I got the digital bet. Because it was different because I can't think of a comic where I've seen like a comic, no pun, no stand up comic
Yeah.
in the beginning of a book like that, and it always stuck out to me. I was like, because I like stand up comedy. I actually fall asleep to stand up comedy. Like I'll turn on my tablet and I'll have like Netflix or whatever playing, and I'll just roll over and I'll just listen to stand up comedy. So that always said between that, the German suplex, obviously, and then Stronghold and the layers of the character. Like that's when I know that I love a comic and I love what a writer's doing. When there are little details I can say I love the book, but this hit me and it made me feel this and this hit me, this a little something that might be, maybe it was just a throwaway thing that you put in there, maybe it was a point to actually make, I don't know what have you, but I was like, this hits me. Like when I read Crescent City Monsters, I can hear the music. The writing is incredible. The art is like somebody hitting you in the face with a brick and then handing you cheesecake. It doesn't make any sense, but you're like, thank you for that, thank you. But I can hear the music. Like I can hear the music when Jonas is playing, and I can hear the music in the quarter when the two kids are performing. I can hear the music there, and I can hear actually like the feet shuffling in the background. I've never been to quarter, but in my head I can hear the feet shuffling. So when it makes me actually create the scene in my head even more, that means something to me. That's when I go, this comic got me. This comic is hitting me in a way I didn't know. Like when I read Mind to Avenge, in the first issue, when they're in Russia, I can actually smell the iron in the blood. I know that's a real deep one, but the art makes me smell it. The way it's shown on the blades, I can actually smell it. So things like that hit me, and I appreciate that, you know. But sir, you have so many things to do. You have to, just be the person that you are. And no matter, I know I'm not as active on social media as I used to be, just because I just don't give a shit. I can't take the shit. But you're one of the 5 people I first see when I go on Facebook. One of your posts pop up, and I'm like, okay, is at the park? All right, cool. And then I just go on with like eating my my breakfast or whatever I'm doing. But I always appreciate you here, and I always see you, and I'm glad that you're being seen and that you're shining. And we appreciate you, brother. Serious. Even without the whole hospital thing, I appreciate the person that you are and seeing you evolve and adapt and just grow and flourish into the person that you are and that you're going to become. It's a beautiful sight, man. We love you. I love you, brother. All right.
Brother, man. Thank you.
Thank you. So everyone, this has been, I don't even know. I gave you that introduction. Now I don't even know how to sign off with you. This is you just Greg. That's it. Like you just Greg. That's it. That's it.
Good looks, man. I appreciate you, brother.
Dude, man, I truly appreciate you and everything that you do, whether it's your comics, whether it's you just speaking on topics that everyone might not know how to approach. Wait a minute, did you add me to that group? You did? Oh, because I walked in and I was like, wait, why is everybody just doing stuff? I was like, where's everybody? I was like, all right, cool. And I'm just seeing the conversations. I don't know who the people are with it. I'm just seeing the conversations. I'm like, okay, cool, bet. I'm not into that, but let me just give you my 2 cents just to see if it's a different perspective.
Because it was very, it was supposed to be like very open-ended to different types of folks, and I just saw the same types of folks, and I was like, let's diversify a little bit. So I was like, Antonio would be great.
Yeah, I've seen something like when the one person was asking about open or poly relationships, I think it was, and I was like, oh, okay. And I'm boring. I'm a monogamy guy, but I was like, whatever your relationship is, whether it's romantic, family, business, it's all about communication, and that's where everything. That's the bedrock. That's the foundation, and that's where it all comes in. And you can find out what you like, what you don't like, where you going, so you don't get 10 years in and you're like, well, I was thinking about, and you like, now you telling me this? Oh, I had this bad dude I used to work with. He was down. Are you serious? You know what I mean? Things like that. Well, do you still have his number? Like, can you find him on Facebook? Like things like that. You know what I mean? But even a group like that, like I'm in there, I don't talk much in there, but I see stuff and I'm like, you know what? Let me just, see what's going on with this. And people are chilling there. There's no, like, I've seen people disagree, but I haven't seen anyone be negative and derogatory.
Yeah.
Which I honestly appreciate that. But yeah, I like just seeing stuff like that and just, again, a different perspective to make me think, okay, cool, this is what this is, and just open my mind more. The more my mind can open, the more I can contribute and maybe talk to somebody else who's having a bad day and they haven't figured something out, and I go, well, this, and then they figure out, okay, this might be who I am, or whatever. Just anything to help people just be who they are and find love. Like that's it, man. Well, everyone, the, this has been Greg. Like I don't even know, like this has been Greg, y'all. Like that's I can't do that but shrug my shoulders. People who listen to podcasts, we're shrugging my shoulders. This gentleman, it's Nana, the Were Spider, Marasa, the Gentleman, Stronghold is your latest work. I'm gonna put, because you are, I feel like you write a book every 5 minutes, so I'm just gonna have a whole list of the sites that you could go to find Greg's work. He's an incredible a writer, creator, and person. And with more people like Greg in the world, we'll be able to really understand each other, talk more openly, and just find a better place that we can all go to, honestly. So thank you very much, Greg, for being a part of this. I appreciate you. Like I said, love you, brother. You are one of those people who is definitely, you're like one of 5 people that makes me stay on Facebook. If it wasn't for some of y'all, I would have left a long time ago. I honestly just would have left. All right.
Thanks for having me. Love you too.
All right, so everyone have a good day. Enjoy something that you eat, and remember, don't be a dick and don't be a cunt. That's basically all I got to say.
Eat dicks and eat them. That's it. Just eat them. Don't be one. Just eat them.
I mean, well, you are what you eat, but never mind, whatever. So I'm gonna, because that make me an ass. So I'm gonna.
I mean,
there will be another podcast where things like this are discussed more, or for real, because there are some podcasts I do want to do more adult geek joining topics. So you're one of the people on the list that I have that I want to have on to talk about things. So this has been kind of like a little like backdoor pilot of that backdoor pilot. Wonderful. So flying by the seat of my pants. Y'all have a good day. Enjoy. Thank you. And to do the best you can with what you got, because it's all you get. Peace.